say, to be honest, it was a lot of luck. So even just going back to kind of my UBC days, my initial undergrad was in sciences and I was majoring in math. And I was actually contemplating becoming an actuary. And as I got near the end of my degree, I was like, I don't really know if this is what I want to do. And I started chatting to somebody and they mentioned this DAP program at UBC. And it really just gives you all your pre-qualifications to enter into the CA program. So I was like, you know what, why not? Let's give it a shot. Because I wasn't sure what I really wanted to do. So I think that's really what started for me to see, like it allowed me to see what options are out there, and it kind of broadened my perspective of what other careers are possibly out there. So during my articling, once again, I think I lucked out and I became part of the public mining group, but I really enjoyed it because I think I really enjoyed the science behind the mining and the process parts. And then after completing my CA, my first industry job, aligned with what I've been doing in public practice, ended up being mining. And just enjoyed it so much that I've ended up staying in it. So I don't know if it was like one particular item that attracted me. So this is what I always say, like my biggest takeaway is don't really have a preconceived notion about a particular industry or career path, because there's so many different avenues your career path can take. Because that for me, that's 100% true. Like when I went into UBC, would never have thought of accounting or mining or going into this type of field. But keep your mind open, and that's kind of, it can lead you to great opportunities. Yeah, I think I agree. I think all of these elements are proven to be strong motivators for the industry, but not just for women, I think for men as well. Because I think overall there's a fundamental change underway in many industries, not just mining. And COVID has further demonstrated the way of thinking and working and the emphasis on flexibility. So I think while it's a shift in our industry, in the mining industry, it's a necessary response to today's expectations. And that's going to allow the mining industry to attract the growing talent pool as well. So definitely factors, but I think it's actually factors for both men and women, which is great. Necessarily other aspects of employment conditions, because for me, and maybe it's just where I've worked, I've worked at many mining companies, and it's not necessarily an employment condition other than the few items that we discussed above relating to kind of the flexibility, career development, mobility on that front. So I don't know if there's anything additional to that comes to mind. Yeah, I think we're definitely seeing more and more women in the executive and management positions, and I think they're coming up through industry, and they're really bringing real and valued experience to these leadership roles. Perfect example is my audit partner, Joanna Pearson from Deloitte, is now the CFO of Endeavour Mining, one of the larger mining companies in the world. So, you're definitely seeing women getting these roles on their merit and on their experience. And I think companies are seeing the value that they can bring. And I think that's where it's been a great shift that, we're able to get these positions based on our merit and experience. Mining is naturally moving towards that, and it's a result of really more women getting into these leadership roles, and it's kind of leading by example. People, the younger generation is seeing, hey, women are in these roles, we can do this as well. So I'm a big proponent on, mentorship and leadership and setting it by example. If more younger girls see that this is possible, we can achieve this, they're going to be more inclined to go down that route as well. Again, I think this is more on the role modeling, and it's really an influence, I think, from family as well, is a primary driver. Because when we were all in school, you hear about science, you hear about technology, engineering, math, but what are the real jobs? Everybody's like, you should become an engineer, but there's so many different avenues you can go to become an engineer, become an accountant. There's hundreds of different avenues from an accounting standpoint too. You can work for private companies, public companies, not-for-profits. You could go into tax. So I think what we need is more education around what the day-to-day real jobs are in these areas. So I think that would really help girls and guys. Like even my nephew, he's like, we hear about engineering, but I don't really know what engineers do. Like, and he came and job shadowed me. He's like, you're a CFO, you're an accountant, but I don't really know what you do day to day. So I think it's more that education at that age group for boys and girls to show them what other opportunities there are in that area. I would say honestly, do it. Like biggest thing is believe in yourself and really surround yourself with the people that believe in you. Like don't have that negativity around you. Don't have the self-doubt about you, like about it, thinking, this is not an industry women go into. Like forget about mining. I think any industry for women or men, boys or girls, if you want it, do it. Take it. It's yours to take. I definitely have been influenced by women, but to be 100% honest, my biggest mentors have been men. And I think that in itself is showing you the shift and speaks volumes to how the industry is changing and how they are open to seeing young women thrive in this industry and succeed. So for me, definitely like this is great to see. And it definitely encourages me to be like, anything's achievable. But I also think the fact that my biggest mentors have been men through this industry and they've been the ones pushing me to keep going says a lot about that. I think a lot has changed, and one of the biggest barriers, at least for myself and even my friends that I speak to, is ourselves. We underestimate our ability. So I think with more and more women serving in these management roles and having success in these positions of leadership, I like to think that the days of self-doubt is behind us and that we know we can do it and we can take those risks and those opportunities to get to those positions. I think the biggest support is honestly the people that surround you. Once again, like I know I already spoke to it, but have the people that are gonna support the fact that they're gonna support you no matter what. They're not gonna bring that negativity and say, "Are you sure you can do it? How are you gonna do it if you have kids at home? Are you sure you're gonna be able to work balance work-life balance, work-life? Are you gonna be able to balance it? Sorry, if you got to go travel for a week, how are your kids gonna feel?" Just making sure you don't have that negativity around you and you have the support around you. So I think that's one of the biggest items in my mind, like from a personal, professional standpoint.